Hello, everybody, and welcome to Earn with Nicole, where we share with you the tips, tricks, and tools to learn how to market your business online. If you don't have a business to market, I can help you with that too. So today I'm very excited. I have a couple of people from my community that we're just going to hang out and we're going to chat about Canva, where to start, just some tricks. There's no rhyme or reason. We're just going to go through whatever we find to go through. I do try and watch the comments, but I do get lost sometimes. So if I miss your comment, I apologize. I do keep track and I will catch up with you later. So with that being said, let me just go ahead and I will share my screen and we will dive into Canva. Okay, so I say this with everything that I talk about. When you're learning a new program, don't be scared of it. The first thing you want to do, though, is learn where that undo button is. So we're going to start, let's just do, our community does a lot of TikTok videos. So we're going to start with just a basic TikTok design so we can get a feel for what we're doing here. So I'm just going to go into create a design. And as you can see, it has a bunch of presets there. So it all depends on what you're doing. Because I use these the most, it's coming up automatically for me. But you can just search for whatever you're looking for there. So let's go with TikTok video. Okay. All right, ladies, do you do much TikTok creating? Oh, we've got some new joiners here. Hi, Shannon, good to see you.
Yes, I do, but I don't use Canva for it.
Okay, so what do you use right now?
I just use my phone and do videos, and then I edit on CapCut.
Perfect. That's actually
same here.
Yeah, when I'm doing recording videos and stuff, I do prefer CapCut for that kind of stuff. Canva is nice to decorate the outsides and sometimes if you want to add screen. But for me, Canva really gets good when you're doing picture posts and faceless videos and stuff like that. So I'm just going to pull up a template. So let's see. Well, let's go with work from home. I don't know. Let's just pull up a random one. Obviously, so you've got all these templates on the left-hand side there that you can start with and work from. Well, let's just pull up this one and see what it looks like. Okay, so let's say we want to use this and we want to edit it. So all of the elements, as you see, I can move my mouse over them and there's just a different shape moving. So this is getting the text. This is getting this design element. You know what, let's get rid of that. So I'm just going to hit delete on that. Just throw that in the trash. And we want to change this to, let's just change this to my company name, which is Earn with Nicole. And then sure, we can leave that if we like. We can leave that if we like. We can change it if we like. And if you just want to change it, you can just, oh, nope, that's going to move it. So just double click on it so it's highlighted. And then you can change it. I like hiring, so I'm just going to change it back to hiring. And then, yeah, just any element that you want to get rid of, that you want to change, you just essentially highlight it. We can stretch it to make it bigger or smaller. We can change this. I just want to get rid of that. This is another element, so we can change that. We can, but does that make, you see how all the elements are kind of layered one on top of each other? Like, does that make sense how that's kind of laid out?
Yes, and I didn't realize there were all those templates in Canva.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Isn't that great? Yeah. Like,
yeah,
so,
I've learned a lot already. Thank you, Nicole.
Oh yeah, no problem. This is one of my big favorites. I love this part. So, let's say I wanted to change the color to this text color to my brand. So I hired a brand designer and got myself logos and stuff because I'm not creative with that kind of stuff. So I needed someplace to start with. And I was able to put that into Canva. So now if I click on this, I'm pointing at the screen like you can see me pointing. If I click on the text color, I can come over to the left and here's my brand colors already there. So I just love that. And you can add your brand colors however you want. If you want them in there, you can add and subtract to them. But anyway, it goes down to the default colors are all here too. So you can change it to your default colors, but I like it consistent to my brand. So I'm going to start changing colors to make it consistent to my brand. So here, if I click on this, the background color is up here. So I'm just going to click on that. And let's make it my background purple. I want to change this font color to my, let's change this to my yellow font color. And then again, I can change the text. I can do whatever I want to make it how I want with this. Here's the design element. Looks like we can change it here. If you're not sure if you can change something, take a look at this top. You can, sometimes you can edit the image, sometimes you can't. But if you can, it will give you this, this edit. And let me just, not that one. But that's okay, because we can change this one. So let's change this to this color. And we'll change the other side of it to my yellow. So yeah, we're just adjusting every little element we've got in here. Now, see, this is something new for me too.
Wow, this is amazing.
Like it's just, you can have so much fun with this. Border style, there's no border on that. So, okay, I don't know what that is. Transparency is kind of fun if you want to have something that you can see through. Or if you want, like if I was to layer this on top, let's say I move this over top of my text. So now there's kind of the lines over top of my text there. And I can change the transparency to make it stronger or less transparent, which is kind of fun. Any questions or anything so far?
So is there a monthly to sign up for this? Is there a monthly fee?
Most of a lot, I love Canva because a lot of its features are free. But there is a pro version which gives you extra stuff. And I believe, I want to say it's something like $12 a month.
Yeah, I believe that's right. I have it.
Yeah, so I definitely invested in it because the bulk create aspect, and I'll show you guys that later because I love it. And if we're going into more Pinterest and stuff, the bulk create is just, yeah, amazing. And you do need the pro version for that. But if you look at, see where it says this magic switch, there's the crown here. That means it's a paid option. So if I looked at any of the elements in here, let's see. So let's say I wanted to add a, you know what, this is kind of cool. Let's just, I'm going to get rid of some stuff here, just so I have a place to work from. A little bit of a blank canvas. And we could have done this with we could have started with a blank canvas, but it's, when you're just getting started with it, I find it really easy to just start with a template. So you can just modify it and then you can really get to know Canva and what it's doing. But this is kind of fun. So these frames down here, well, let me go through this left-hand side to begin with here. So the design is your major, so this is the whole thing that you're doing. This is your whole project. Elements are stuff that you can add and subtract to your design. So you can put shapes in, graphics, photos, videos, etc. Text is your text box. So anytime you want to add some text. Brand is your brand kit. So anything that you have put into your brand, you can find in there. Uploads is anything that you've uploaded into Canva. So if you had an image or something that you maybe downloaded off your camera, anything like that, this is where that will show up. So if you have a picture on your computer that you want to use, you first have to upload it into Canva, and then you can use it on your image. Draw, I've never actually used, but we can play with that. That's fine. And then apps. There are so many different apps I haven't even touched on yet when I'm looking through this stuff. Bulk Create is really the only one I've used, but there are so many other ones that you can use logos. Oh, I want to look at that one. So yeah, there's just so much you can do with it. And like I say, I mean, I haven't even touched the surface of a lot of this stuff. Projects, just projects that I've done already. But for the most part, it's this element tab that we're going to look at. So this is the fun part that I like. So I want to use a frame. So I want to put a picture in here. But I want the picture to be contained in the circle. So I'm just going to give it a frame. So now I can find a picture. So if you go down to elements some more, you can find some photos. Where are the photos? So there's a bunch of photos there. You can search in the bar for anything. Let's look for a cat. I'm a big cat person. So let's just look for a cat. Yeah, see, this guy's pretty cute. Now this whole picture is a black background, but I just want the kitty. So this is going to be where this frame comes in. So it's just going to fit in there. And if you notice on the bottom here, this is a pro picture. So you wouldn't be able to use that if you're using the free version. So I'm just going to drag that into my little circle. And then you just have that there. So anytime you want to use a frame to put a picture inside of that, that's how you do that. So that's kind of fun. See, we have some. You have a question about the more than one person? Is that Shannon?
I have a question about, like, I know that with the Pro, you can only use, and I learned this from looking into PLR products and stuff like that. How do you find which ones are eligible to be reused and which ones aren't? Is there something on there that says it, or
Like
like you just showed?
if you can use, if it's showing up in here, you can use it. Like, are you talking about rights to use it? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, but you can't like resell it, or
Yeah.
I know that there's some that you can't like resell or anything like that. That's what I'm confused on.
You can't resell it as an image, like on its own, but you can use it in your products. If it's within Canva, it's free to use.
Okay, gotcha now.
Yeah.
That's a little more clear.
Yeah, so yeah, like I can't take this image and resell it as my own. But if I'm creating
Right.
something with it and I wanted to put, maybe I want to put this cat into my frame, which doesn't really fit. Oh, there we go. So okay, so that's if I wanted to put that onto my document or into my project, and then I'm selling my project, I'm okay. That's okay there.
Okay, but just not like the image itself.
Yeah, yeah. Like I'm not
Gotcha.
going to say, hey, I drew this image or I created this image and here you go.
Right. Okay, because I was a little confused on how people were trying to explain it to me.
Does that make sense though?
Yeah. As long
Is
as you're
that cleared up? Okay.
utilizing it for something other than the product or picture itself.
Yeah, and there's some sites that are free to use, like Pexels. Anything on Pexels is already clear. There is no trademark on it. There's no like you're free to use.
Right. Yeah, I've used that before.
Yeah,
All
and
right.
then there are stock sites where you can use them, but it does require a subscription. So there's different places where you can find different tools and stuff.
Okay, appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. So this is
Thank-
cool. This is I'm just going to change this background color to make this a little clearer. That didn't help. Maybe I need a different, yeah, I need a different photo. Just gonna put, because as you can see, this cat here doesn't fit in my frame like we might want it to. So, I just want to find a picture that, where are my photos? Okay, so these already have the background removed. Anything that's black in the background has the background removed. So let's say I wanted to use this guy. So let's put him in my frame. And he does happen to fit, of course, but if it didn't, if you double click on it, now you can see the whole picture. So you can move that within your frame. So now that's going to become more and more important as, especially when you start creating and start putting a video on the screen. And especially if you're trying to use like a horizontal video on a vertical plane, you might want to mess around a little bit with it. So for example, let's just see how that would look. You know what? I'm just going to start a new project here. Let's move this in away. And I'm going to go back to create a TikTok video. So now we're back at the beginning. We're back at a blank slate. Again, you could load a template to start with, but I'm just going to start with a blank slate here. I'm going to give it a background of, sure, purple. Now most of my faceless videos and stuff, I am actually using videos. So we can do that here with the elements. And we can go down to the videos. And we can see all. Let's see. So anybody got a favorite topic?
I do well with like nature scenes, like me to be on a hike or something
Okay,
like
let's say hiking. So I'm going to search for a hiking video. And as you can see, there's tons. You see the time here on the left. And a lot of these are pro videos. So this one doesn't have that pro. So that is a free. But a lot of these do have the pro. Now, if you're doing a TikTok video, as you can see, it's vertical. A TikTok video is usually vertical, and a lot of these videos within Canva are horizontal. So you can filter to only see the vertical. So if you click on the 3 lines up there, and then you click on vertical, now it's only going to show the vertical. Or, and I've been doing this a little bit more, is what I just talked about with moving the picture in the frame. So let's use this one. Now, if you drag it over, there's a few things you can do here. So if I just click on it once, it's just going to pop over just like this. So you can move it up, like you can expand it this way, or you can click on the 3 little arrows there and set it as background. I'm just going to replace the background. And then this is where that becomes problematic, because in that video, all of the action seems to be happening on the right-hand side. So now we've lost that, right? But if you double click on it, let's play it here. There we go. Now I can see the whole video again. So I'm just going to slide it over so just that part is in the frame that we want. So now we can see that. So that's one way you can use a horizontal video for a vertical frame.
Oh, wow, Nicole, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I've always avoided them because I didn't know how to do that.
See? Yep, there's tricks to everything. Like my mind very much, instead of saying you can't do that, I say, how can you do that? Like, it's very much, I just had a big old argument with the people at Stripe. I was trying to do something they didn't think I could. And I was like, nope, I know you can. There's got to be a way. And we made it happen. So Yeah, you can't tell me that something doesn't work. So yeah, so that's kind of fun. Now let's see what else we can play with. There is audio down here on the left-hand side. So if you want to add some tunes to that. So if you click on the left-hand side on audio, there is a ton of audio. Again, some of it's pro. Looks like actually audio might all be pro. Not 100% sure, but it's looking like it might be. So yeah, I mean, that's your biggest decision too. If you want to use Canva, if you're going to use Canva, I highly recommend the $13 a month. But yeah, there's some, sure, I don't know if that's really hiking music, but sure. So just click on it. Okay, so just click on it to preview it. If you click on that part, it's going to bring it down here. So now you see how you have this track bar. And if you're used to using Canva, it's very, to CapCut, it's similar to that idea. And then if you double click on that section, you can move the track to play a certain part of your track. So if you wanted like the middle of the track or the middle of the song, you just double click on it and move it over. And there's that. Anyway, so let's add some text on the screen here. Let's go. So text, I'm going to add a text box. I do have my brand again set up in here. So I can add my brand fonts if I wanted. You could use whatever fonts. But I'm just going to use this one that popped up. Let's make it quite a bit bigger. So your font size, obviously, the font size is up here. And let's see. Learn to make. I am not creative with the words. This is why I use ChatGPT. Okay, in just 2 hours. Okay, so a couple of things happened here. My text box is spanning the entire video, which if you want, that is fine. But we all know that TikTok has its stuff down the sides, so you might not want that. So you can just click it and drag it in either side. And there's another cool thing with Canva. So I'm holding the mouse down, but if you see underneath my line, it's got a line that extends down to the bottom of the screen. So that helps you get something centered. So there's that line there. Now, if I wanted to put it in the middle of the screen, I could just drag it down and it will eventually show me. There we go. Now you can see there's a line directly down the middle and directly across. So that's telling me that it's centered. So it's fun little stuff like that. So you can make it bigger there. We can bold it if we wanted to. We have some effects over here. So different things you can do here. My favorite, the one I use most often is the outline, just mostly because you never know if, especially if you're doing a video. So sometimes the video all of a sudden becomes as white as your text and now you can't read your text. So I always put an outline around it. And you can change the thickness of your outline just by doing that. You see how that changes there. You can change the color of your outline. And personally, if I'm going to do that, that's when I'm going to have the contrast. So if my text is white, I'm going to have a black background. That's not going to work. So black background. There we go. So now we have a black background with our text. Obviously, we can change the font up top there. See what else we can do. There's colors. Again, this is all stuff that you can play with, change. You can change to a round shape. And if you're using this one, then you can, yeah, it looks like that's just a circle. So different options there. You can change the curvature. There you go. Neat. Oh, that's kind of fun. There we go. Okay. This is stuff I haven't even used yet. So now the other thing that's nice with the videos and the text is sometimes like your call to action or something you don't want to happen until the end. So if I click on the text here, there we go. We get this three lines here. That's where your menu is. We want to go to show timing. And now we can change our timing. So I want to drag this. Okay, so I want this to be at the front of my video. So I'm going to drag that there. And then I'm going to add another text box. And we're going to say, let's just say like, more info. So there's my call to action that I don't want to come up till the end. So now again, I go up to the top and I hit show timing. And I move this, shorten it to, let's put it there. So now if I play, I can preview it here. And this is loud, so I'm gonna just turn that down a bit here. So now it's got my text there. Now that disappeared. And then that's my call to action there.
Yeah, that's very similar to CapCut, like you said before.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of
about show
similarities. And same
timing.
thing, like if I wanted to take a piece out of this, again, I can right click or I can, where are we here?
So quick question, those
Yeah.
features that you're using now, are those on the pro level monthly, or are those the free options?
And
you
the features that I've been using are mostly in the free.
Okay.
Some of the images where I find it usually slows down or whatnot is in the images and stuff. So the features you can kind of use, but not all the images. Except for getting into like some of the apps and bulk create and stuff like that. And the audio. Yes, there's always a backdoor. Oh, I love it. So let's see here. I know I can. So yeah, if I wanted to cut a chunk out of this, I can just do split here, just like you can in CapCut. And then I can do another split here. And I can get rid of this chunk. And delete. So now it's going to skip over that chunk and come up with my call to action. Make sense? Any questions?
Yes, it makes sense. Is there a way to put something like where you had that little chunk that you removed? Are you able to
1 second, I
insert?
turned down my volume. Sorry, what was that?
Okay, so where you took out that little chunk, is there a way to put something in there? And like in the middle of this little video? Like if you wanted like a screenshot, or how would you do that?
Absolutely. So you could just go to this add page, see what put the where the plus sign is. Goodness, I'm having trouble with words today. So you just click on that plus sign and you put whatever image you wanted in there. If you wanted a video or if you wanted an image. So let's say I uploaded one of my, let's say one of my document pages. So I've got a bunch of them uploaded. So I just go down to the uploads. And let's just put this page in. And again, it's horizontal on a vertical page. So it's not going to fit right. So it just depends on how you want to do it. So you can have it expanded so you still have stuff on the top and bottom, which could be nice so you can still put text and stuff on the bottom. Or if you just want to show a part of it, like I can set it as background. And set it as background, and then double click on it to put whatever portion you actually want on your screen. So then you have that. And this at the moment is a 5 seconds. Right now it's showing 5 seconds. But you can change that up here where it says 5 seconds. You can edit the timing. And if you only want, say, 1 second, then you can change that. Oops. Except I didn't do it. There we go. So now we've got a 1 second thing. So this is how we want it, but it's not where we want it. So you just, it's just simple drag and drop. You can just drag it and drop it right there. So now it's right in the middle.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah. If you wanted to
So
show
is-
this.
Oh.
No, go ahead.
So is this the same? So these features here are the same as the CapCut that you're talking about in TikTok, as far as this particular segment?
It acts a lot of the same. Like if you're familiar with CapCut and editing in TikTok, a lot of it is the same.
Okay, so see, these are some of the things that I'm still kind of trying to figure out. So it's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. For me, when I'm doing my talking videos, I still prefer just to use TikTok, just film straight on TikTok, edit it straight on TikTok, and go from there. Now, if I'm wanting to make it fancier, adding in overlays and doing that kind of stuff, then I will bring it into Canva. But for just a simple talking video, I'll just do it straight on TikTok. But yeah, for my bulk creating for things like that, I love Canva for the faceless videos and the bulk creating. Like I'll show you. Oh, let's just talk about bulk creating since I do a lot. And when we get into Pinterest and stuff like that, we're going to it's going to be a useful tool. So let's just say I'm going to do, now let's stick with the TikTok video. Now you want to consider, so one of my favorite faceless TikTok videos is a POV post. And so something, a point of view, it's just a simple statement and then my call to action. And so what I do is go to ChatGPT. For those of you who haven't met my ChatGPT, I call him Stanley. So we're just going to check in with Stanley and we're going to say, I already have my perfect customer defined. And in this particular chat, he already knows what my perfect customer is. So I'm just going to say, can you write? And let's just do 10 POV statements. Sorry, there we go. Statements to market my perfect customer. So I just said, can you write 10 POV statements to market my online business to my perfect customer? So now Stanley's gonna think about that for a second. He's going to come back here. I'm not sure if he did this in a way that I can copy and paste, but we're gonna find out. So I've got a general picture in my head. So my video is going to look like it's going to have something in the background. I don't know what yet. It's going to have the POV statement, and then it's going to have my call to action. So I want to make sure I have a text box that can hold my POV statement, whatever statement that is. And you can just copy and paste your first one, or you can set it up however you want. So I'm going to put it up here. I usually like to use the first one. Let's just copy and paste the first one because that gives you an idea of how big or little it's going to need to be. All right, so I'm just going to copy that. And we're going to paste that right in there. And we're going to make it bigger. And I need the text box to be bigger, obviously. There. And there. Yeah, see how that box comes around it to show me that I'm in the center. Like it just automatically pops up to say, yeah, you're centered. Oh, looks like it left this behind. So I'm going to just get rid of that. And get that back centered. Okay, and then I want to add a call to action. So I want another text box. And I'm just going to say like for more, and I'm going to get that to the size that I want. And we're going to put that sort of more down here. There we go. And I want to adjust my timing. So I want my call to action to happen at the end, but my statement can stay the whole time. I'm just going to leave it like that. So this is going to be my general template. I'm going to have a POV statement and I'm going to have that. Then what we do is we go to, and this is a pro feature. And the one that actually sold it for me to begin with. But you go down here to bulk create. And I'm going to enter my data manually. And I don't need this column because I only have the one column of info. You can also, if you were doing like if then statements or you were doing different stuff, you might have 2 or 3 different columns. But for this one, I just have the one. So now I'm going to copy all of it. And I'm just going to paste it in there. Okay. It gave me some extra rows, so I'm going to get rid of that. This isn't normal. This was just an oops on my part. Okay. So now I have that, and I'm just going to say, okie dokie. So now I need to connect that data. So if I click on this box, I need to just go to more and go to connect data. And that's going to bring me to my table. So this is the column that I want to connect. So continue. It's going to list all the statements there, and I want to generate 10 pages. So now each of these videos has a different POV. And it's also already got my my call to action timing is down. So now all I have to do is go back to my elements. And let's go back to this first video. And I want the video to go in here. So I go down to videos. And let's see. Let's just search for an open road video. And we find something that looks kind of fun. Oh, that looks like it's kind of fun. So I just drag that over. Plop her in. Now you can see it's hiding my text. Oh, I didn't change the color of the text. That's why. So I need to change the color. Let's make it white. That white. Now, if I would have done this before I put in the video, or before I created, it would have all been white and how I wanted it to be, but just an oversight. So yeah, now I did that. The video is 7 seconds. Let's say I only want 6 seconds. I can change that there. And then my first video is done.
Yeah, I need to learn this. I need to do this because I can sit for like an hour just going back and forth trying to figure out, okay, do I want to do it this way, or this way? Okay, so now that I pick out of the three, now I'm like, okay, so now I need to figure out, you know, how I want to end the video. And it's just, I don't know. I having a hard time. I hear it, I see it, I know what she's saying to do, but me personally doing it and putting it all together, it has been my challenge.
Yeah. I mean, there's so much to learn. There's so much to do with it. Like, it's just absolutely astounding that, like the amount to learn, it's overwhelming sometimes. And trying to get that connection is a lot about consistency. It's showing up, keeping going. It's yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty, I mean, I'm still, pretty gung-ho. I love diving into the mindset videos, because when I feel like a little bit overwhelmed and anxiety creeping in, I'm like, okay, you know what, let me slow down. Let me slow down. Let me go listen to something so I can calm down here.
Right.
But gosh, there was a question that I had and I lost it, so I'm gonna be quiet for a second and think about it.
Sure, no problem. We have had a bit of time here, so I'm just going to wrap up the recording part of things here. So I just want to thank everybody for watching my YouTube video. Again, if you're looking for a business to promote with a wonderful community like the wonderful gals I have shared my time with today, the link is in the comments, and I look forward to seeing you next time.